It is 6 o'clock, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. This is the first of our two special city council meetings this evening. Both council meetings will be recorded and placed on the city's YouTube station. Let's do a roll call, please.
Miriam Wainwright.
Nick Wolf. Dick Wozniak. Mike Clear. Tom Murray. You guys' phones both on silence?
Mine can't be. It doesn't work right.
We're getting better.
Mine is.
No. Nope, that'll work.
Oh, it is.
Okay, this special city council meeting, we're going to have a public hearing concerning the fiscal year tax levy statement as provided by Lynn County. Going to open the public hearing. Cynthia, would you provide us some description of what the council and residents received?
So the notice that was mailed out looks like this. The top part is about the College Community School District levy. The second part is about the Lynn County levy and when they're each going to have their hearings. And then the bottom section is about ours that we're moving tonight. So the first column tells what our current property tax dollars is in this current fiscal year. And then what the current rate is, the 8.10, and then the ag, that 3.00375, that's the ag limit. The next column, which is labeled effective tax rate, that's, our taxable valuation went up. And so if we were to keep our tax dollars the same with more valuation, the levy would go down. So that if we kept our tax dollars the same, the levy would go from 810 to 7.47663. But what we're proposing is to take in more property tax money from the current 1,250,298 to 1,354,543. And that is leaving the proposed tax rate at 810 and then the ag 3.00375. So no change in the levy. Okay. The back is a little harder to understand. So this shows the amount of TIF that I assume we're currently getting. It's not really labeled. And I think it's misleading because it shows 50% authority of the tax. Well, we're not getting 50% of everybody's property taxes. Remember, TIF doesn't have any increase, to the people's levy at all. They don't see any change. Then the next section is for residential property. And so the first column is tax using the current tax rate. If it's valued at 100,000, now that is 100% assessed value. That's not taxable value. Okay. And so it says $375. And then the second tax using proposed tax rate, which remember we didn't change, shows 423. Well, the reason it went up is because then their example is now showing for $110,000. So they're writing a 10% increase into the chart. The percentage of change shows 12.80%. Well, they've got their 10 in there, and then the change in the rollback, it comes into play because this is a 100% assessed value, not taxable valuation. So if anybody can do that math to come up with it, I don't know how you would do it. And if you remember, last year when we kept the levy the same, it showed a negative 15.8 something % there. So, and that was all difference in the levy and difference in their example. Then the next chart shows for commercial property that's worth 300,000. Now, the reason that, last year, the statement showed 100,000. And the numbers were exactly the same, because if you remember, they changed the law that commercial property, the first 150,000 is taxed just like residential rate. It's got the rollback in it. Value over the first 150,000 goes by the 90% commercial rollback, okay? So there's two different rollback rates. This one, again, we're keeping the levy the same, shows a 13.94 increase. But 10% of that is their 300,000 to 330,000, and the rest is the rollback change.
So the key point being, to simplify it, our tax levy rate is still $8.10 per thousand of assessed valuation.
Taxable valuation,
Sorry.
taxable valuation
Yes.
per thousand.
Yes.
Can we put that on our Facebook page? Because I had several people come up and they're like, why are my taxes going up, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, well, number one, this is an example, not a real number. And number two, our rate isn't changing, it's the assessed value is changing. That's not determined by us.
Right.
So I would just put something to the effect of the tax rate
Is still 810.
remains the same as it has been for,
Years.
I don't know, 20 years.
And also to add to that Fairfax is still the lowest
Full
rate,
service.
full service town in Lane County. And maybe you could put some other examples in there of some smaller communities, Cedar Rapids even.
I can bring my Marion one, it's way higher.
Anybody that
going
reads
up.
it will be able to relate to Ely, Atkins, Cedar Rapids, Hiawatha, Marion,
Yeah.
I think would be a reference that would remain the lowest.
So Cynthia, did we receive any public comments prior to this hearing,
We did not.
other than through Mike, it sounds like?
Oh, I'll just do a little caveat. We received that one email,
Right,
and the gentleman was referencing school levy and school money. So I explained to him that he was sending this to the city and that we're not part of the school levy. And so he said, okay, thanks for letting me know, I'll contact them. And then I asked him, do you still want your email in the packet? And he said no. So that's the only contact I have.
any members of the public present here or online that have any comments? When I say online, on the conference call, excuse me. Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we have a brief pause. Our second meeting is scheduled to start at 6:15, and that's how it was publicized.
We can't start.
Motion to start at 6:09.
We have that one too, but. Yeah.
While we're in between, last year, the council all wanted just to be paid for one meeting for this night. Is that still consistent or not be paid?
Do you need to vote on that?
No, you just,
I'm fine with that. Eyes have it.
Only if you start the second meeting now.
Well, what time is it? It's 6:09. We don't have to wait too long.
oh, I should stop.